Okay, Ben. So, give us the latest on the membership. You had a meeting with fan groups last night. How did that go?
Well, I think in the whole it was positive. It was good to do some consultation with fans. I think from my perspective, there's obviously hands up and lessons learnt from the last couple of weeks in the way that we especially communicated and the lack of fan consultation. And I think from them two things alone, they're disappointing, and I think we've got to do better in them two areas. So from my perspective, it's I apologise and I apologise on behalf of a lack of communication and a lack of fan consultation. I think we need to get that right. Whenever you're making significant change, there will always be opinions on that. There will always be people that think that that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I believe it's the right thing to do for the football club in the long term. The removal of points to a membership scheme. I've spoken to hundreds of fans and engaged with probably many more. And on the whole, I think the communication and the fan consultation was the part that really disappoints me the most. But the actual rationale around the reason why we've done that, I think is still sound and is still the right thing to do. There will always be difference of opinions on that, but I think moving forward, what we want to do, and this is what was discussed last night, is how do we then perhaps right some of the wrongs in supporters' minds around the next evolution and iteration of the membership. And I think that's what we'll look to do over the next 4 or 5 months, is ensure that we're engaging with as many fans as possible in a structured way to ensure that we address loyalty, we address price point, we address the junior and the families issues that we've had coming up. But what I won't do is apologise for the movement of a point system to a membership scheme, because it will be the right thing for the football club in the long term. And commercialising that membership as a self-financed club, that is unfortunately what we will have to do. And these are tough decisions, and sometimes people in positions and people at the club have to make tough decisions. And this one would have been made a lot easier if we got the basics right around communication and fan consultation.
In terms of that consultation, then, just to sort of take a little step back, why wasn't that consultation there in place? Did it have anything to do with promotion in terms of everything was sort of such a rush at the club trying to get everything in place for the Premier League that it just sort of slipped through the cracks almost?
I mean, I think, look, we can put excuses, we can make lots of excuses internally. Ultimately, it didn't happen, and it should have happened. And I think as a football club, we've prided ourselves on the fact that we have been pretty consultative, as much as we possibly can be in a transparent way. That we can put down the point that we've been promoted, we've done parades, take that as a concept. These are all just excuses ultimately. We're paid at the football club to do a job, and that's to represent the fans. And on this occasion, we've let ourselves down when it comes to communication and fan consultation. And I'll put my hands up for that. And we've learnt lessons. And I can tell you one thing is that moving forward, we will make sure that we consult with fans, and we'll consult with fans probably more than we probably should do moving forward. This will never be a universally accepted one-size-fits-all solution to memberships, and I don't apologise once again for making the change, because it needed to be changed. Where I actually think we need to learn lessons from is when we're doing things like this, we need to give a much longer lead time before we make these sort of decisions, and we can't communicate in a kind of in a quick fire way. We've got to make sure that we do it properly.
In terms of, you've obviously faced up to things here when it was launched, and you've spoken to supporters group.
Sure.
This was a decision at board level, though. This isn't sort of totally your decision. You haven't just ploughed on with this because obviously you're the face that people are seeing.
Yeah.
This was a board agreed decision because it was a big thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, but whether decisions are made big or small at this football club, mainly in the boardroom and with myself, Stuart, Zoe, and the board. So of course it was a collective decision.
Yeah.
But no, it's my responsibility for ensuring that we do it correctly and that we make the big decisions and we do them right, and the rationale behind doing them as well. So no, I take the responsibility because it's my job to do that. So and actually the one good thing that's come out of this, in terms of the amount of consultation that I've had with fans as a result of this, positive or negative, and some of it has been negative, I've enjoyed speaking with more fans around ticketing, around their relationship with the club, around loyalty, around some of the points that they say are flawed in this membership scheme. They've heard some of my arguments or my suggestions on it, and I'm not saying they've agreed with them. We've agreed to disagree sometimes, but equally I think they can understand the rationale as to why we're trying to move to a different place with memberships. And it was interesting in the fan consultation last night with the fan groups. There were points where there were several different opinions in the room, and that is the nature of memberships and ticketing. People always look for a personal lens, and I appreciate that and I understand that. So there will not be a one-size-fits-all solution to this, and that's where I completely appreciate where one person will be unhappy, another person will be happy, but we've got to get the basics right. And that's what we didn't, and that would have made it a lot easier. It's now about operational delivery of that system, because I think it's important that the members have a way of purchasing the tickets. We've gone out with a clear and concise sales dates, so regardless of the fixture, people should be aware of when them sales dates are now, and if they haven't, they should go online and have a look. From our perspective, we will be working quite aggressively on ensuring that the membership evolves over a period of time. The next 5 months is quite key to getting this to a place where people are more comfortable with it. I would say it won't be comfortable for everyone, because there will always be gripes and there will always be people that feel that it's not fair. But equally, I want to be able to hear from fans, and I want to be able to communicate accordingly. So when we do go out in January in line with season tickets for next season, people are informed.
Okay. Just one more on the membership, because as we've been hearing in the background, the lawnmower's going, Caro getting ready, you've got a lot on your plate getting ready for the Premier League. The Football Supporters Association obviously have had their say. They're a campaign group who've fought hard for that £30 Premier League away cap. What did you make of their comments? I think they described the use of the word antiquated about a point system. They were critical of that. What did you sort of make of their comments?
Well, I think it's opinions at the end of the day, but they're a body, and they're entitled to their opinions. And what I would say around membership is memberships can be seen in many different ways. Membership should be being part of something. It shouldn't just be around the issue of around supply and demand and you're purchasing something to get to the front of a queue. Sometimes memberships can be seen as something that's actually a little bit more collective and a little bit more together. So are you part of something? On the actual point around the £30 price point, what I think a lot of people have forgotten with this whole debate is that as a club, we're actually championing the £30 as fare for football across both home and away. Now, okay, away was already sort of put in place by the Premier League, but we championed that when it was actually being done as a recently relegated club. So, from our perspective, I think we're actually on board. We're championing the fact that we believe that people paying £30 for away, we shouldn't then profit from people in home areas paying any more than £30. So we're one of the first clubs to do that. And actually, we've had a lot of national press that's been very positive around that, and that's actually meant that other clubs are having to force the issue with their fans and say, well, wait a minute, should we be doing this ourselves? So we actually believe as a board, and me certainly as an individual, that's probably been missed a little bit. That's down to communication. And if we had got that right, then quite frankly we wouldn't be in this situation.
Moving forward, you're launching the new fan hub in conjunction with Gerald at London Street at what people know as the Intersport store at the moment. Yeah. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so a great actual space. We've been working on it for about 2 years now. It's been a long time coming with the retail ticketing kind of sales sort of hub, but this is more an immersive sort of experience-led venture for me. What we want to create is an area where fans can actually come into the city centre and dwell within a Norwich City environment with loads of interactive things going on in there. So it's not just about selling shirts, it's not about selling memberships or selling match day experiences. It's actually about coming in there and actually, sitting there watching something on a screen, meeting a player, meeting a legend at a football club, participating in an activity. So within that space, which is in London Street, as you say, we've got a great partnership with Gerald's that we have had historically in this exact stand. We've actually brought that back, and we think the proof will be in the pudding. When you see it, I think people will be really, really impressed by this new fan hub. It's coming soon, and it will be, a really immersive sort of fan experience when you go in there.